Jacksonville Jaguars fans, welcome into Duval Daily, presented by GenJag.com. I'm Jordan DeLugo. Thanks so much for tuning in here on Thursday, May 8th. Your Jacksonville Jaguars, the rookies anyways, are going to be taking the field this weekend. Going to be out there on Saturday. Fans are going to get the opportunity to be out there as well, which is pretty cool. I can't remember rookie minicamp being open to the fans in quite some time, but that's going to be pretty cool to be able to see Travis Hunter and all that. But one of the guys we're going to be able to see, and we've been talking about all the rookies going through the list, from Travis Hunter with the second pick to the day two guys, Caleb Ransaw, Wyatt Milam, and now we're into our Bhayshul Tuten deep dive. And I've watched a lot of Bhayshul Tuten tape. I've watched him really have an unbelievable college career. Let's call it. He had a really, really good college career. And what's so impressive about him, and this is the Jaguars' first fourth-round pick, somebody who I had as a third-round grade, somebody who I thought should have gone on day two. He can do a lot for you, but the thing that stands out the most, there's so many reps where he breaks a tackle or makes a guy miss, and he is gone. If you are not rallying to the football against Bhayshul Tuten, he can make you pay. And he's 5'11", 209, came in at the combine slightly lighter than that, but that's probably because he wanted to run that 4.3 40-yard dash, which he absolutely did. Unbelievably fast football player and running back. So he started his college career at North Carolina A&T and didn't do a whole lot his freshman year. When he was getting the football, he was doing a really good job, but then had a massive sophomore year, had 208 carries for 1,370 yards, 6.6 yards per carry, 13 touchdowns. In his first 2 years, he didn't have any fumbles. What you did see the last couple years after he transferred to Virginia Tech, the fumbles started piling up. He had 9 total fumbles the last 2 years, which is obviously too much. 5 fumbles in 2023, slightly better in 2024. He had more carries and less fumbles, 4 fumbles, right? So it was slightly improved. Usually the fumbling stuff is just fighting for extra yards. I think when you talk about fumbling being an issue for backs, it's definitely something that can be improved. But if it's something that is an issue for you and you have to work on improving it, the way you hold the ball, the way you grip the ball, the placement, all that stuff, it's something you probably are going to have to focus on for the rest of your career, just to make sure you're not slipping. It's easy to have that happen. And you've seen Tank Bigsby have some fumbling issues with the Jacksonville Jaguars. So you now have 2 running backs in that room right now that need to make sure they are doing everything they can to not let the rock hit the ground, right? That is so vitally important. Like, it's one thing if you throw an interception trying to take a shot down the field. Fumbling the football as a running back is so crippling. It's going to happen, right? If it happens a couple times a year, it is what it is. But you need to limit these fumbles, right? And 9 fumbles in 2 seasons on 360 carries about is too much. It's just too much. And so he's got to clean that up. The other area of his game that you would like to see improved significantly is pass protection. And that's not because of like a lack of willingness. I think he has a good size to do it. Like, he's not the biggest guy. Pull up his combine numbers for his size. He's not the biggest guy, but he is squatty and has some power to him, some strength throughout his frame. When he makes good contact, like when he lines it up, he can kind of stone a defender. And yeah, 5'9", 206. Every time you pull up the NFL Combine page, automatically get that video playing. But 5'9", 206 at the Combine again. I think he played a little bit heavier than 206. But a guy that at that size has the ability to win with natural leverage in pass protection, to get up under the pads of the incoming rusher. And you see that occasionally, but you want to see a little bit better maybe recognition of where blitzes are coming from, of where free rushers are coming from, and then also just a little bit more consistent form. And I think he has the ability to develop into a very good pass protecting back. Like Travis Etienne, I don't know if it's ever going to get there just because he just doesn't have that pop, that strength. I think Tuten has the strength to do it. I also think, obviously, Tank Bigsby has the strength to do it. But these guys got to improve in that regard. And there's a guy the Jaguars drafted late in the draft who does not need to improve in pass protection. He's excellent. We'll talk about him later on. But overall, that is a question mark with the Jaguars' current group of backs outside of LaQuint Allen is pass protection. You've got pass protection issues. You've got fumbling issues with Tuten and Bigsby, and they've got to clean that stuff up, right? They got to in order for this running back room to be as effective as it can be. And Tuten does a lot of other things really well. He is, in all of college football, last year, when you have a chart, x-axis, you've got missed tackles forced, y-axis, you've got yards after contact. The only player that is ahead of him in that chart is Ashton Genty. He is good at forcing missed tackles, and he's really good at getting yards after that. He's low to the ground. He's tough. He's got enough power in his frame, and he is insanely fast. Again, he can make one guy miss in the hole and be off to the races. I think you see a fair amount of interior rushing, but he does like to bounce it. And with his speed, I think you probably want to lean into that. You want to lean into getting him the ball in space. Another aspect of the fit with the Jaguars that I like is he is well-versed in the screen game, and Liam Cohen loves the screen game. Both of the guys they brought in, Tuten and LaQuint Allen, are very good pass-catching backs. But focusing specifically on Tuten for this video, for this breakdown, his receiving numbers are solid, right? Not prolific, but solid. The last 3 seasons he had in college football, every year he had at least 23 catches. This past year at Virginia Tech, he had 23 catches on 27 targets, and he had 0 drops. There was some drops the couple seasons before that, but no drops last year. He really improved that part of his game, and I think he shows pretty natural hands overall. 3.5 yards per reception. Why is that? A lot of the times he's getting the ball on checkdowns, and there's just nowhere to go with the football. And he just kind of got stuff. He'd make a guy miss, and then other guys would come and clean up. But to me, he's somebody that can definitely help in that regard. And I think Liam Cohen can really do a good job of utilizing him in the screen game if that's an area that they want to go, a route that they want to go down for sure. So you look at him and the Jaguars backfield, I think that he's going to be behind a better run blocking offensive line than he was in college. I think he's going to be part of a more cohesive passing offense. I think that the coordination of the offense will be much stronger. Talked about the Jaguars passing offense earlier today. I think they're going to be extremely strong. I think there's going to be more space for him to operate. And when you can get Bhayshul Tuten the ball in space and he only has to make like one guy miss, and then he's got yards, green grass in front of him, it can be really exciting because he's one of the fastest running backs you're ever going to find. Bottom line. 4.32 40-yard dash, 1.49 10 split, 40.5-inch vert, 10-10 broad jump. He's a burner. Bottom line. So excited to see that injected into the Jaguars offense. As explosive as Travis Etienne is, Bhayshul Tuten is much, much more explosive. And there are some questions about the Jaguars backfield, how it's going to end up shaping out. Like, is Travis Etienne going to be in Jacksonville this year? A lot of people have kind of brought that question to the forefront because he's going in the final year of his rookie deal. Could they try to potentially trade him and get some value back? I think the Jaguars' best path forward is keeping Travis Etienne and having him be their starter because I think he is extremely explosive. I think in the space that Liam Cohen will create a little bit more for this offense, Etienne can have a dynamic year. And people forget before last year, which he dealt with injuries and obviously an offense that was just very stagnant, and a coach who I think lost confidence in him after that fumble in week 1, which is absolutely ridiculous. I really think that ETN has a chance to have a big year. You've seen it the 2 years before 2024. He had a big time couple years of production. But getting back to Tuten, where he fits in, I think for this year, probably a role player, because you do have, again, ETN and Bigsby. Probably a role player who can come in, do some pass game work, some screen work. He also did line up at times at receiver for Virginia Tech and get screens that way. I think you can see that in a Liam Cohen offense. I think you can see jet sweeps. I think you can see pitches, tosses, trying to get him the ball in space. That's going to be the key. I don't think what you have here is like this complete back who is going to pound the rock in between the numbers and be super effective in that regard. You want to get him outside. You want to get him in space. And that's going to be where he thrives. And if you can do that, he can be a game changer. He can absolutely be a game changer. Because it only takes one missed tackle and a little bit of green grass for Tuten to flip the field. And once he gets to the second, third level, good luck catching him. Good luck catching him. I think that it's an exciting pick. The reason I had a 3rd round grade on him instead of like a 1st or 2nd round grade is because there are some questions, and he's not this every down, do it all back. But there's a lot to like about his game. There really is. I'm excited to see what Liam Cohen and this offense can do with a Bhayshul Tuten, who I don't know if you can find a more explosive back. A back where you get him the ball in space and it can be fireworks. So it'll be fascinating to see. It'll be exciting to see him this weekend when he gets on the field. And then obviously I think the Jaguars running back room in general is very intriguing moving forward, just with the questions about it. Jaguars like Travis Etienne. I think they should. I think that they can get a lot of production out of him this year. I think Tank Bigsby, if you can continue to improve the fumbling, you can get a lot of production out of him. I think Tuten as more of a role player right now. Moving into 2026, could he be a 1B type of back? I think if he can secure the football and improve in pass protection, he could be part of a 2-headed monster in a backfield, a talented running back room. I do believe that. And that's why I think ultimately the Jaguars got a value with him, getting him in the hundreds, early 100s, 104 overall, I think. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below about Bhayshul Tuten. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. Y'all have a good one.